Hello and welcome to my build guide on Verso. I'm going to be going through an in-depth review with his weapons, pictos, and skills. I'm also going to be showing you the solo build I use for him and team build as well, along with his companions' pictos and skills, and also how I spread their attributes. I'm currently in New Game Plus, so his build is going to be quite expensive, but you can always farm Lumina at Renoir's Abyss via the merchant or mobs that are in the area. This build is also going to revolve around after Act 2, so unfortunately there's no early game build, just focusing more on late game because the entire map opens up for you, and you'll be able to find everything you need if you were to try out this build. If you have any suggestions on how to make the build better, comment them down. Going over Versal's weapons, I have tried a few that I thought that fit him the best. First up is Chevlon. It starts Verso in S rank, 20% increased damage for each turn without getting hit for 5 turns. Then it gives him Rush in S rank. I did use his weapon for some time because I thought it was the best out of all of his weapons, but I didn't read fully and didn't look at the negatives. When he has his weapon equipped, he can't gain any shields, and it's a big problem with this build because we will be getting a 10% increased damage for each shield we have applied to Verso, and our plan is to have him have 9 shields in total, so that will allow him to get a 90% increased damage buff because of the shields. Next up is Delarm. He is able to start the battle on rank B, and he applies powerful on rank B as well. So on turn start, battle start, he's going to be getting powerful. I will say this is good for early to mid game, but as we progress through this game, we would like Verso to get rank S as fast as possible due to his stat boost for each rank. And the next weapon I wanted to try out for him was Dualiso. This is another good weapon that you can get early on and will help you progress the early to mid game. I wanted to do a basic attack build on him, but I've not been able to find a combo attack to Picto to help him out, so I kind of had to put this weapon aside for the late game. The next weapon is Simaso. It's an alright weapon, I think. Every skill that does damage will be doing light damage, and gives him a chance to apply burn on dealing light damage, and he can't die if he's at least rank A. I think this weapon could be used in a really cool burn build maybe, but other than that, it's a pretty decent weapon. Then we come to the heart of the build. The current weapon I'm using, and the weapon that I think is best for him, is Contorso. He can switch to S rank on break, gets a 100% crit chance on rank S, and each critical hit that Verso does, it triggers a lightning strike on his targets. And for Verso's attributes with his weapon, I put 99 in 3 categories. 2 in which the weapon that you are using, and have the rest in might, as it gives you the most amount of DPS instead of spreading them across the board evenly or randomly, right? Whichever one that you feel like the best. Since we're going to be having 100% crit strike while in S rank, we're going to be focusing Verso's equip Pictos on speed, but we don't want to make him too fast because we will be wanting Verso to go second at battle start. And we don't really need to be focusing on defense or health because as of right now, I'm in New Game Plus, and if I took an attack head on, I will be getting a one-shotted, right? So for Verso skills, we're going to be using 3 main skills. We have Endbringer, which does increase damage on stun targets. So when we break a target, we're going to be doing a lot more damage afterwards. And next up is Follow Up. I like to call it Gunslinger style. This is another small build inside of this build, but it's really fun and really cool to use, and does incredible damage if the stars align. So next up is Phantom Stars, because sometimes we're going to be having more than one target to break, and this will be breaking all enemies at once. So it's very useful. Another skill that I forgot to mention is because I didn't have it equipped at that time, and I was testing a bunch of other skills. And I forgot the name of it, but it's a skill that after you attack, it lets you mark an enemy, and it just helps you do increase more damage in case if you need a mark. For Verso's passive Pictos, he is quite expensive, sitting around 491, but it can get even more expensive if you do the solo Verso build. It just kind of adds 10 to 50 more Lumina points, depending what you add, right? And he has quite a bit of Pictos to go over. and I will go over each one. If there are any Pictos that you have not acquired yet, you can use the wiki and search them up, and it will give you the location of them, as it has helped me a lot when I was trying to search for any Pictos that look cool, fun, or useful. So we're gonna go over the Pictos. Take it away, me. So if I did try to tone it down a bit, as you can see, I have 75 Lumina points to work with right now. So I'm just going to go through all the offensive, defense, and support Pictos that I use and the reasons why. Dealing 50% more damage if your health is below 10%. It's going to help us out because we're going to go down to 1 health right away. Since we're going to be doing 50% more right away, that's good. Augmented aim with the gunslinger, with the build, this helps a lot. 50% increase free aim damage. Counterattack damage, you always like that. All the counterattack damage. First strike helps a lot. 50% increase on the first hit, just once per battle. Auto rush just gives him a speed boost. Like I said, he loves his speed. Breaking shots. Now this is what's good. We have a singular break target, and then we have a oh no, this is the wrong one. But we just have more increased break damage. Combo attack, I just have it there if I ever need AP and I don't know what to do with the rest of my turn, I just combo attack. Confident Fighter, 30% increased damage but can't be healed. It's good. We don't really need to be using any healing at the moment right now. We just need him to do as much damage as he can. Croaker Stun chance. If I wasn't using his current weapon right now, I would be using this because they're going to be stunning at the start of every single round. And powerful break, after we break a target, which we'll be doing at the start of every fight, we get powerful. So empowering parry, this in case if we're unable to one-shot enemy or one turn, quote unquote, enemy, and attacks us, we get more damage by just doing parries. Exposing break, apply defenseless on break. This whole build has to do with breaking the enemy, and then I'll go into more with the ally group as well. First hit offensive, first hit deals and taken and deals 50% more damage. We love that. I had a 13 mil parry attack or counter attack because it was my first time dealing damage, and since I haven't taken damage, I was 50% more. And then with the empowering parry, each successful parry increases damage by 5% until the end of the following turn. So if you're doing it solo and you have a bunch of enemies, you just parry a lot and then increase your damage infinitely until the end of their following turn, until they attacked you and then you took your turn. Glass cannon, 25% more damage but take 25% more. Either way, if we ever get hit at this point in the game, we're one shot anyways, so we just need all the damage you need. Gradient Fighter, I just put this on because sometimes the gradient attacks can come into clutch just to try to finish them off if I don't have any AP left. 50% to defenseless damage amplification, so whenever we break an enemy, we will also apply defenseless. So since when they're defenseless, we're going to do 50% more damage because they're defenseless. Greater powerful, since we're getting a bunch of powerful ones, powerful buffs, we need that. It gives us a 15% extra damage stat boost to the powerful. Immaculate, 30% increased damage until a hit is received. Now if you can see where I'm going with this, he is just a one-turn gamer. He is so powerful whenever, you just don't get hit, just dodge it, right? But overall, this is where we're getting all of our damage from, is because we're putting a bunch of buffs on ourselves, but we just can't get hit. But that's where the speed comes into play, since we get to play first most of the time. Other than my allies, if I'm playing solo, Verso will be going first, and that's where we get all of our damage from. Inverted ability, this is very good Because invulnerability means that we can't heal ourselves for 3 turns. Well, why would we need to heal ourselves when we could just one-shot them and it gives us a 50% increased damage while inverted? Now, this doesn't mean when just the 3 turns about to start, I think. Not so whenever you get inverted, it's just not the three turns. Just because there's other enemies that can invert you, but when you get inverted, they give you a damage buff too, right? Last stand critical. I can honestly take this off, 100% critical chance while fighting alone. But I could honestly take this off just to save more points. But you know, it's just fun to add it, right? I'm able to add it. Longer powerful, it gives us a duration increased by 2, so we get to have our powerful even more. Panda power, of course, we need for us to go into the millions, we have to go above 9,000 damage. Power for 1 shell, we just get a shell, just more buffs to us, right? Powerful shield, now this is where we get another bunch of our damage. 10% increased damage per shield point on self. So whenever we get shields, it gives us a 10% increase. And since we're going to be getting 9 shields all the time, most of the time, right? We will be getting a 90% increased damage buff. Roulette. This is the gambler's dream. You have a 50% chance to deal the damage, or every hit has a 50% chance to deal either 50% or 200% of its damage. So that's where you see those big numbers, where you do 13 mil, 18 mil, 43 mil, 1 billion from Mael, right? Actually, I'm pretty sure that's just standard all around for Mael, but it's not the problem with Verso, right? So that's where, you know, Verso gets, you know, just hopes to put it all on black and hope it hits. SOS power. A powerful when falling below 50% health. Since we're going to be going to 1 health right away, we're going to get more power. SOS rush, we get more speed when we're falling before health. Now shield affinity. Now before, we had sorry. Anyways, shield affinity. Shield affinity. So that's where, so on top of the 90%, right, of increased damage for shields that we're going to be having, right, we also got a 30% increased damage while having shields. But while receiving damage, always remove all shields. Since we're typically not wanting to get hit at all, this is alright, right? Sniper. First free aim shot turn deals 200% increased damage and can break. That's if we ever wanted, if we're going up against a solo boss like Simon. You can just shoot it, and then it stuns, and then you can still have your turn. You don't need to use a skill to break, you just have to use your gun. Break, and then use whatever skills you want. Stun boost. Now look, 30% increased damage on the stun targets. So whenever we break them, we're going to be stunning them, applying defenseless, then we're going to be also getting power for ourselves. We'll also be getting a rush. You see it all coming together, right? Tainted. 15% increased damage for each status effect on self. And I'm assuming status effect is positive and negative, because it did not say negative. It does not just say just negative. So I'm assuming that every single time we apply buffs ourselves, we get 15% increased damage for each status effect. Each. So all those buffs and rush, you're going to see going up on Verso. It adds a 15% for each one. Teamwork, 10% increased damage while all allies alive. That's when if you're applying with 2 other characters to help you out, right? Versatile, after free aim hit, base attack increase by 50% for 1 turn. So this is what I was thinking about the combo attack one, but unfortunately I wasn't able to do it, but I still have this on just in case if I can't think of, I don't have enough AP to do. Then we have Warm Me Up, 5% increased damage per turn, can stack up to 5 times, and just in case if the turn goes more then 2 times, I guess, then we'll be getting 15% and so on and so forth, up into 25% attack. So that's all of our offensive ones, right? So now we have auto shell for the battle star. So when we get our auto shell, we're gonna be getting powerful as well, because beforehand when it says apply powerful, we're not adding shell. Immediate res plus 3 shields on battle start, but max health is half. It doesn't matter since we're always gonna go down to 1 health. SOS shell, apply shell, and so on forth. Solidifying, right? Plus 2 shields when the character's health falls below 50% once per battle. Anyways, right? We're still going to be going to 1 health. Doesn't matter. We're going to get all of our shields. Survivor, survive fatal damage with 1 health once per battle. Now there's a reason why we need that. I'm not using really second chance at the moment, because I feel like it just takes up way too much points for something that if I die, I might have misplayed, right? Or I might just not, you know, land like, might just not hit on, like on black, right? So, support. Now, accelerating shots, 20% chance to gain rush on frame shots. Now, since with the gunslinger, we're gonna be shooting a lot, and then we're gonna get rushing a lot, and then we're gonna get out tainted. Now, with our 1 health thing, right? This is where auto death comes into play, because before, if we wanted to get all those buffs at 50%, we would have to take a turn by using one of the skills that makes us go back to A rank. But we don't want to go back to A rank. We're going to stay at S rank, and we're going to keep our inverted ability. So we don't want to just die, right? So this is where auto death goes, because since it kills us on the battle start, but then we also have survivor, it keeps us at 1 health. And we get to keep our inverted abilities, our inverted status. We get to keep all of our shields, because if we die, we lose all of our shields, right? Auto rush, battle start. Burning shots, that's more damage on POG. 20% gradient charge. Since we're going to be doing critical strikes all the time, we had this on just in case if we ever need the gradient attack, right? Cheater, you definitely need this, right? If you want to do your maximum damage, you play 2 turns. The enemy only has 1 turn, right? Or, you know, double mark. This one is a very nice one because it helps with our gunslinger class and it helps us with our follow-up skill. So it takes two hits to remove the mark. Gain powerful on breaking a target. We like that. We also get 3 AP on breaking a target. So we like to have. Verso uses a lot of AP. Most of the time it's using 9. It's like using all 9 of his AP points. So we kind of need that, right? Then we get 2 AP on applying powerful. 1 AP on battle start. And 1 AP on battle start, right? I don't know why I just don't have the number 2 there, but you know. Exposing break, apply defenseless on break. Talked about this. Greater defenseless. Talked about that already. Greater powerful. More increase, and we get more rush speed, more speed stats, and then we make the enemy also slower, because when we break them, we're also going to be slowing them. And once we slow them, they're going to be slower even more, and we get to be able to take more turns before they get to make their turn. Longer powerful, marking break, apply mark on break, so this is when we get them stunned, and then we don't have to mark them to do our damage right away. Marking shots, 20% free aim shot, that's what you like. 1 AP on parry, but damage received is doubled. Doesn't matter if we're going to be dying in 1 hit or losing all of our shield, it doesn't matter, right? Powerful on shell, rewarding mark, plus 2 AP on damage to a marked target once per turn. Like I said, with its gunslinger, it takes lots of AP to get that damage. Rush on powerful, rush shortcut. You don't really need this, right? I haven't taken it off yet, but I just thought it's just nice to have, right? Slowing break, apply slow and break, and then 50% chance to apply mark when attacking a marked target. So when you're attacking with your skills and they're marked already, you Each attack has a 50% chance to keep them more marked still, and since we have 2 hits, and since when you hit a marked target, you're going to be doing more damage each time, and if it keeps staying marked, you're going to be doing your maximum of damage. For the allies, we are going to go with Sceil for team play, and the other one is up to you. I just use Monoko. I kind of use him for cannon fodder at the moment. Sceil is our AP ATM machine that buffs Verso. Sceil's main stats to focus on is agility because we need her to be playing first on turn start before Verso to buff him up. Sceil's main weapon and best supporting weapon is Litherson. During Moon phase, allies get greater rush, and Sun phase, all enemies have greater slow. But during Twilight phase, all allies have greater rush and all enemies have greater slow. Then, she gets 3 AP on applying buffs or debuffs once per turn. And there's only really 2 skills that we are going to be using, and that is Intervention, which makes a targeted ally play immediately and skips their Q, and giving them 4 AP. Then we have Fortune's Fury, which gives the target ally a buff that deals double damage for 1 turn. So we'll be buffing Verso, then letting him skip Q to play right away. Sceil's main passive Pictos are Auto Def, Breaking Def, which on Def fills all target breakage meters. Then we have Cheater, just for her to go for an extra turn. Energizing Start 1, 3, and 4. Then we give her Energy Master, which every AP gain that she gets is increased by 1. Then we give her First Strike, which allows her to play first before Verso and give him buffs in the beginning, so Verso's damage can just be increased a lot more. Then we give her Protecting Def, which gives her allies shout on Def. And then one of our most important ones is Shielding Def, which gives allies +3 shields on Def. Now make sure that both your allies are using have second chance if you're going to be doing team play, and for teamwork to be active as well, right? Then we have Monoko, or your last ally, right? He's kind of cannon fodder like I said before, but he's just here to give Verso extra 3 shields and a bunch of buffs, right? Just make sure that Monoko has, or any other ally, has the same Pictos as Sceil, and you could put some speed on him too. Also have Cheater Disable on him because he doesn't do that much damage. I just do it just to make the fights go faster. So with everything explained and done, hopefully it's concise and easy to understand, right? So I'm just going to show you some fights I've had with this build, just to show you the build and play. I hope you enjoy. This is also on the New Game Plus. So this is where we got our 9 shield from. Everyone's backing up and at him. So then this is what we do. We give our target ally double damage for 1 turn.
Show me what you can do.
And Sceil's back up to 9 AP points right away. But right now, we're just going to skip her turn. Instead, this is what Verso's going to do. Since we have our Gunslinger, right? Our inverted. We're going to break him right away, and since we're using Controso, we get S rank right away on break. This is going to be breaking right away. And then we use Endbringer, extreme physical damage, 6 hits, increased damage if the target is stunned. And we one-shot him on phase 1, which is, given, 23 mil. Now, on Simon's second phase, right, it's a little bit different. He attacks right away, right?
Lady Luck smiles today.
But this is where Sceil comes into play, right? So, as you can see on the left-hand side, Monoko is before Verso, and Simon is before Verso. But if we give Fortune's Fury, and with all the shields,
show me what you can do.
Boom, since we get a 9 AC right away, we can use Intervention. Target ally placed immediately and grants 4 AP.
Your turn to shine.
So he gets to play first.
Last-ditch effort.
And then we get to shoot him once, break, extreme physical damage, and with all the roulettes, right? And with all the roulettes, the mark, as you can see, we still have our mark on play. So, since it's our new turn, we could shoot it for extra 2 AP if I'm correct, right? But there is more. Since all of that, he has defenseless and slow. So then we boom, we are 3 AP. And then since we shot a couple, right, we can use follow up. And just do some damage, right? 2 mil, right? Pretty decent. I meant to have caster mark, not anvil, but you know, it's powerful. And this is where Simon steals all the steals, right? And then he wipes out the entire team. Actually, I lied. They're not at third phase yet, but you see where it is, right? So then we do Force and Fury on Verso.
Show me what you can do.
And then since we set 6 AP, right? Target ally plays a melee and gains 4 AP.
I'll manage.
And since he's still defenseless, you have 6 AP. Gunslinger him down. And then we follow up with him. And then we kill him before his third phase. 25 mil with that follow-up. So, they're resurrected, right?
I'm back.
Now, I will show you guys something, right? So, if we just do what we did for Salmon, right? We do that, and then we kind of skip our turn, right?
I'll manage.
So, we can't just shoot one and break the other one. If we break this one, we won't be able to break the other. We won't be able to break the other one. So instead, we need to use our Phantom Stars. So I'll show you what that looks like. Because the break for the Gunslinger only works one time on one enemy, right? Second chance. Okay, just making sure. So instead, this is where some of our other damage comes into play. Now, you could most definitely just like use all the damage on him, right? Gunslinger him.
Play.
But then you won't get 2 marks. So we do that. We just skip our turn because why not, right?
Ready to strike.
And then this is where our Phantom Stars are going to play. Extreme light damage to all enemies. 5 hits can break. Since it's a full breakage meter. 7,000, both of them are marked and has stun on them, and then we get our full AP back. So then we can literally do everything we want with it, right? Good damage right there, right? And then we're just going to give AP to Verso, because why not? He needs the AP.
I think I'll improvise.
So then, since that guy has a mark, right, we're just going to shoot him 2 times. 1, 2. Reason why is because we don't want to waste our +2 AP on hitting a marked target per turn. So we hit him first, and we get our target, our mark, boom, and we keep on shooting until we get to 2. Since they have mark and they're still stunned, we're going to do double damage. And since they're defenseless, we're going to do even more damage. And so on and so forth, we saw, right? You see where everything comes to play, and we're still inverted, by the way. And then look at that. 41 mil. And this is Verso. This is as strong as I can make him right now. I don't know how else to make him stronger, right? So that's his team play. I really don't want to travel all the way back to Simon, right? But I'm just going to show you his solo play for... So this is what we do. We're just gonna take off. Second chance for both people. And then we're also just gonna go to our favorites. Gain rush. And powerful. You don't like that. You don't want that. You want that. So this is what happened. This is his solo. If you want to use Verso solo. Okay, give him everything. And then we do our standard stun. 3 mil, not as much as the other one, right? Endbringer.
End of the line.
Well, it's 76 mil damage. that. And that guy's still marked. So then we're gonna use follow-up. Unlucky.
Last ditch effort.
But since we're at 2 points, and we can just base attack him to death.
I'll manage.
And there you have it, a solo Verso. For that too. Thank you guys for watching the build guide. I'm very happy at how this build turned out for Verso, and I put some thought into it. I'm happy it just made him deal a bunch of damage. So if you guys enjoyed the video, comment down what you liked about it, or if there's some things that you would want to see added, or if you guys have any suggestions on how to make Verso even more stronger, right? Let me know, please. And I'm going to be working on other characters such as Sceil and Lune. I believe that they could be such amazing powerhouses. So I want to kind of deep dive into them and see what I can kind of make out of them. So again, thank you for watching, and I hope you guys have a great day.
Show me what you can do.
I've lived through worse.
Show me what you can do. Tell me in. Your turn to shine.
My turn. I've lived through worse.